Hello everyone and welcome to another one-shot from Too Many Twenties. And this is my first game that I've made. It's the first time I've DM'd, and I am joined by Alec, Arron and Dan, who are all very experienced game makers and DMs in their own right. So let's cut to the intro before the pressure starts getting to me.
No pressure.
You saw my games.
Today's game then is Alien Big Game Hunters, and whilst I read out your little background story to the audience, you guys just double check you've got an ally that you may encounter, you've got an enemy that again you may encounter, and you're all ready to go weaponry wise. So
absolutely
ready. I better do this right then, guys, eh?
No pressure. And you went whole hog.
Always. Yeah, we've got the dice out. That's all I've got. Right. The year is 2200, and you are a team of hunters. You've been called back from distant planets elsewhere in the galaxy, back to Earth and to a zoo. Now, this zoo has called you in, hired you to hunt a mimic. This mimic is an alien creature that's taken the shape of any of their animals in their zoo. And you're standing at the zoo entrance. It's just before dawn, the light's on the horizon, and you've only got a couple of hours to track down and kill this mimic before it starts to prey once again on the hapless guests when the zoo opens. So, if you'd all like to introduce your big game hunters. Alec, do you want to start?
No, I want to go last.
Okay then. Any other volunteers?
I'm happy to start.
Go for it, Dad.
Let's get this hesitation out of the way. So yes, I am Stilo Groven. I am an animal trapper. I work for Gentech. We're an animal conservation group, so naturally we're concerned by this outbreak, and we're here to help protect as many lives as possible.
Okay, so strong conservation edge there, yet still wielding a crossbow. Very nice.
Tranquilizers only. It's a custom blend. Don't want to cause any harm.
Okay. Oh, just before we move on, Dan, who's your ally and who's your enemy?
My ally is the Komodo dragon. Like myself, it uses non-lethal toxins that attempt to paralyze rather than kill. And my enemy is one of the most feared creatures known to man. These tiny, stealthy beasts, long, sharp beaks, terrifying, piercing eyes, stalking through my nightmares. If I run into one of those penguins, it will be bloody.
Penguin. Right. Yes, that will be bloody.
Truly the most dangerous of foes.
All right then, Arron, here are you.
Well, don't worry about it. My name is Freak Horse. Okay. Name's Freak Horse. I'm kind of a hunter type. Go out, find people. I find pelts for a petticoat business. I'm not supposed to disclose their name, right? I'm supposed to disclose their name, but I don't actually kill the animals. I just locate the right-looking pelts for them, so that way they know which ones to hunt down once those things have died of natural causes.
I'm sure they'll be very natural indeed. And who's your ally and who's your enemy?
My enemy is lions. Just by general, don't particularly like them. And to be honest, their pelts are kind of boring anyway. Who wants to buy sand-coloured clothes? It's boring. And then my cassowaries is my ally. He's been with me my whole time. I absolutely love her, my dear old T-Bone.
All right, so hopefully we will have a chance to run into the cassowaries then.
Sure we will.
And Alec.
My name's Keith, and I lost my son here yesterday, and it's really nice that there's some people here to help out and help find him, because if I don't, I'm going to lose custody. My ex-wife, she's hard. It's not going to be good. I heard something about an alien, and I don't like the idea of that. It sounds like bad juju to me.
All right. So we've also got Keith. What's your son called, Keith?
Oh, I didn't get that far. Bob. Bob.
Bob. Interesting.
What's his name again?
It's short for Kate.
Bob, short for Kate.
And we wonder why custody is in question.
And the reference, Alec. That's a good reference.
And since Keith may not have a big game sort of ally, what is Keith's favourite animal that he may hope will help him?
Oh, I do like penguins. I heard you talking about them being vicious, but you know, nothing can be too vicious if it's always in like an after-dinner suit.
All right, and what fears does Keith have?
All of them.
Specifically animal related.
Every animal is fucking terrifying. They're huge and big and deadly, and they've got more teeth than anything should have. But giraffes especially, what the fuck's wrong going on with them? Why are their heads so far away from their bodies? Nobody needs that much neck.
All right. Enemy of a giraffe then. So that's our characters. How this is going to work is we have a list of 12 animals. The game link is going to be in the description if you want to see what animals they still get to encounter. I have already rolled which animal the mimic is a part of. So what I'm going to do is essentially roll to see which animals they encounter in order as they're making their way through the zoo. And our team of fearsome hunters and Keith have to try and track down this mimic with the added incentive of doing it before Bob Kate dies. So as you enter the zoo, the head zookeeper's just been giving you the sit rep of everything that's going on. And you find yourself stood outside of the bald eagle enclosure. You can just hear them stirring and fluttering around slightly inside.
It's not really very nice to draw attention to their follicle deficit, is it? You know, you could call them the hair-challenged eagles. It's just rude.
Oh, they're doing their best.
No, I've not got a huge amount of experience with these eagles. There's not a lot of pelt on feathers.
No, it's a bit weird seeing them all caged up, though, isn't it? You thought they were all about freedom, them eagles.
You got to keep them in enclosures, otherwise it don't work, mate.
What's
a little flawed?
Well,
what do they do if they're not? What do they do if they're not in an enclosure?
They're no longer in the zoo.
They sort of do. You know what people do when you leave the door open at a party? They just sort of all wander off.
Your child wanders out into the road and nearly gets hit by an ice cream van, and then your wife says she's leaving you.
Yeah. You know, like
it was
like
oddly
that.
specific, but okay.
Right, so you have the keys to the zoo. You're heading into the bald eagle enclosure. Now, as you go in, you can see, they are very feathery. They don't actually look that bald. So, feathers everywhere. And they're just rustling their feathers, just stirring themselves. There's 3 of them sat around, and they just fix you with their steely-eyed little gaze as you walk in.
I lock eyes with them again.
Can I see Bob anywhere?
You cannot see Bob anywhere here.
Most of my questions in this game are going to be, can I see Bob?
Okay.
Or can I see the remnants of Bob?
I have just rolled to see where Bob may be, so don't worry, he is now part of the game.
So, I mean, I don't see any small lost children with curiously sticky ears here. So, what are you looking for?
I don't see anything except this bird's eyes. I ain't going to lose this staring contest.
Yeah, small eyes and a long. I'm gonna back away if you don't mind.
Okay, so as you step away.
What's wrong with you?
No, I'm fine. I just don't like the eyes.
The ones that you're looking at, Feek, they're just sort of still staring you back. They're not breaking eye contact, but they're not coming towards you. And then as they steelo, as you start backing away, one of them just hops down and sort of hops along the ground, just coming to check you out a bit closer.
Look, listen, Mr. Groven, I've watched a lot of nature documentaries from a few hundred years ago, narrated by this really cool bloke, and he says the eyes are fine. You can't look around the eyes. You got to look into the eyes. Look into the eyes. Don't look around the eyes. Look into their eyes.
I heard about that. Put you under.
All right then, Keith. You can roll the first one of our stats, which is big game knowledge. Let's see how accurate your knowledge is here.
It's a 9.
It's a 9. Absolutely. You stare them down, they're going to leave you alone.
Okay. So I just stare at it and it'll hop off.
Yeah, eventually. Look, you can see right in there. It's got no soul.
Yeah, and as I was just staring at it, they react completely predictably, just like you said. The bald eagles, they start to just back off. They go back up to their perches. They've accepted that you're here, but they're no longer interested. They're just doing what eagles do.
I lose a staring contest. My eyes broken. I can't keep that glassy gaze.
It's all right. They're just.
You guys are the experts. Is there anything weird about these eagles?
I don't know. My knowledge ain't too bad. Am I rolling some knowledge?
Yeah, so roll your big game knowledge.
Okay.
They're backing down, but let's see if you can figure out anything else.
2.
You don't know much about birds, like you said. They don't have a pelt.
I don't know birds, mate. This is don't know about that.
Yeah, well, the mind of a bird is hard to fathom.
I don't trust anything that ain't got no pelt.
All right, so are you exploring a bit further? Do you think you'll move on to the next enclosure?
They're all sticking as a group, as a 3. There's not one that's keeping.
No, that one that sort of came for you. You stared it down. It's gone back up. They're all sat in the branches, just getting on, preening themselves. It's the morning, making themselves look all pretty and ready for a day of butchery.
I mean, what are we looking for, guys? Like, are there any? What sort of signs are we looking for that would give it away?
So it'd be essentially the mimic's going to maybe look slightly different, behave slightly different, and you're sort of using your knowledge of the mimic, the alien knowledge, and using your knowledge of the big game itself to try and pick out clues as to how they're behaving, or maybe they might look slightly different.
Can I roll an alien knowledge, see if I can spot anything about these?
Yeah, go for it.
Because I'm staring daggers into them. Or
for even though you haven't sort of broken eye contact, you've got that gut feeling. Yeah, you can't say for certain, but you've got the gut feeling that these guys are okay. They're just birds.
I completely hate these guys. I don't think they're this alien.
There are none of the signs. The
just allowed to be
Gemtech aliens. Bright blue colours, CPUs, arms where there shouldn't be. These guys look fine. Can we move on, please?
All right. Before you wet your kicks.
So you're moving on, and like every good zoo, right next door to the bald eagle enclosure, you come across the hippos, right where they should be.
When we leave, have we got the keys and been left to our own devices, basically?
Yeah, you've got the keys. You're going around. They're trusting you as experts to deal with it.
I will try to subtly leave the bald eagle cage open. Because they represent freedom.
That is fine for you to do.
Oh no! Oh no!
So, you're entering the hippo area. You can see 2 big hippos. They're just coming out of the water, and in front of you there's a big sort of big river that winds its way through their enclosure. The hippos are just sauntering out. They're not looking particularly aggressive. They're just minding their own business. And on the other side of the river, there's another bit of land, another part of the enclosure.
Are these things safe? I've heard some bad. These things are big. They look like they could get a whole bloke in their gob.
I'll try that.
What, you try and get in a hippo?
It's probably a good idea not to go that close that they could fit us in. Generally,
you're here to question your proclivities here, Stilo.
Can I see any small children?
You can't see any small children, but you can certainly sort of inspect the hippos a bit more, or their enclosure a bit more.
I look around for signs of a dropped teddy bear.
Dropped teddy bear, okay.
Or a lost balloon.
We'll go for like a hunting ability for that, because you're essentially trying to hunt for something. You're trying to find something.
Cool, that's my lowest one. 2.
You don't see anything. You see nothing. There's the scuffles on the ground, but you can't really tell if that's hippo related, the keepers, or your precious lost little boy.
I think this is probably just mud. It's not mud.
You could big game knowledge that to see what it might belong to.
No, I don't want to know.
You don't want to know.
I'll check these hippos, see if there's anything out of the ordinary about them.
Yep, roll your big game.
Good stuff. 1.
They're hippos. Once again, not very good pelts on them. It's just leather, isn't it, to you?
Pretty leathery. Nobody wants to wear hippo.
Have a look at the tracks, right, between them and the water. Looking at the shape of the footprints and the toes, see if they all match up.
Okay, so hunting ability. You're tracking.
Ooh, I've got some of that. 7.
You see, there are definitely hippo tracks, but there's some other tracks as well. And with these scuffles that Keith might have missed, and there is signs of something being dragged towards the water.
I think we should check the water. Would you mind coming this way?
Sure, there's Stalo. Don't know what you're talking about. I mean, just looks like hippos to me.
I'm going to go up to the water, just sort of like reach out with the butt of my crossbow, sort of poke the water, get a ripple going.
I'm going to stay back because I can't swim.
So as you're poking the water there, you do see just underneath the surface through the murk, like a little child's trainer, sort of just floating up slightly underneath the surface of the water.
I'll reach in and grab it.
What you got there, Stilo?
Pull it out. It seems to be some sort of primitive foot device, not something I'm familiar with.
Is it a shoe that I recognise?
It's called a shoe, Stilo.
That's up to you. You would recognise it.
Oh my god! You've got Bob's foot.
What are you freaking out about? Hey,
is there a foot in this? Is there a foot in this? It's my son.
Is there? I'm gonna have a look inside the shoe.
That's why you've been looking around for a kid. I thought you were just weird.
Is there a foot in the shoe?
The empty shoe.
Well, I'll give it a sniff.
All right, once again, I'd say go for your hunting ability, because you're still using like a lot of tracking skills here.
Okay. 2.
You give it a sniff. It smells of, the sweaty feet of a young boy.
That smell of child. I'm sure it's fine. You couldn't possibly fit in here anyway.
Can I check the shoe, see if there's no signs of any pieces of foot left in it?
Go for it. That again is sort of hunting. You're essentially investigating, tracking.
See any foot?
5.
5. It's definitely been pulled off. It's been pulled off. The laces are still sort of tied. The kid hasn't taken the shoe off, but again, there's no blood. The shoe's just been yanked off.
The hippo swallowed him whole. It's like Noah or whatever. No, not fucking Noah. Jonah.
I think
we've got to cut open all of these hippos to find him.
Now, let's not.
You are welcome to try.
You are welcome to try.
We don't need to cut them open. If they'd swallowed him whole, the shoe would be in them, right?
That's exactly what my thinking is. Steeler, you're actually speaking sense.
Thank you.
I suppose. I mean, if he has been swallowed by a hippo, he's already dead, I guess.
He's dead, mate. What are you going to do?
Well, not a lot, really. Probably lose a lot of money in a lawsuit.
Okay, well, I'm glad it's nothing serious. Perhaps we should make our way round the edge just in case.
We'll keep looking. Hopefully we'll find this Bob kid, but you in some kind of a paternity issue or something?
Well, it's my responsibility to look after my son.
Yeah, it is, but unless it's negligence, I don't think it'd be a worry.
It's lost him in a zoo. It's pretty negligent.
Let's not talk about
don't know kids
now. I'd rather not bring up the subject, being so far away from my own. Look, if we could just go around the edge, I'd feel a lot more comfortable than being near the water where those things can jump.
Are you sure you're a hunter?
Yes. Look, I brought the bow and everything. Can I possibly not be?
Okay, well, while that's going on, I'm going to holster my phaser rifle and I'm just going to start knitting. Just keep myself busy.
Fair enough. Are you starting to lead the group around the edge of the enclosure then?
I'm attempting to move around.
I'm going to follow along, not really thinking much of this.
I'm keeping this up fairly futile between me and the hippos.
I'm going to keep an eye on the
might repel them somehow.
I'm going to keep an eye on the hippos and see if any of them look like they've had a particularly good meal.
Now the hippos just give a big yawn, but you can see they're hanging out by the food trough, so maybe they're hungry, maybe they're not. And you're edging around, you're going to get your feet a little bit wet just going around the side of that river, and you're on the other side of the enclosure. There's lots of shrubby space, muddy space, and then, if you should so wish, there is the entrance to the next enclosure.
Okay, this seems
I'm going to take Bob's shoe with me.
Perhaps if you collect all the pieces, you could build yourself a new one.
Build yourself a new son.
It doesn't work like that.
I don't know how
I don't have sons.
about this planet.
So still slightly worried about Bob. You're going into the new enclosure. Now the sun's just peeking over the horizon then, so you can hear the animals coming to life around you. But you can't see any animals in this enclosure. It's just full of shrubs, trees. All you can hear are the rustlings whizzing around you. And all of a sudden the rustling stops and a face peers out at you. And you recognize this very beaky, very fierce, 6 foot off the ground face. This is your cassowary friend.
Hey, T-Bo! Thank God.
Do I shoot?
You somewhere in here. Put it down, put it down, put it down. It's only T-Bo.
Put it down. Okay, I'll put it down.
Don't put down the creature. Don't
put down the creature. Okay, I'm doing it.
No, put down the crossbow. Put it down right now. Put it down, okay? Put it down. Put it down.
There's other rustlings going on in this enclosure that are being drawn by this scuffle. Stilo, how are you going to respond?
I slap Stilo on the back of the head with Bob's shoe.
The shot fly off the bush somewhere.
Stilo, you're asking for the boot.
Cut it out.
Put it down. What were they supposed to do?
I don't believe either of you.
Nothing. These are fine.
Do either of you have any identification qualifications, anything like that, or are you just?
Yes, they're in my bag. must have left it behind.
Also do.
I know what I'm doing, okay? I work for Gentech. They sent me here. Why else would I be in this place?
Who the hell are
Yeah, badge for
Gentech?
2 seconds, gives me a permit as a big game hunter. You don't see anything else about the card. I flipped it that quick.
They're a genetic conservation. They work on using technology to conserve the genetics of native species of planets. Like this one. These things, whatever beaky things they are clearly native. I'm looking at Feek here for support.
I don't know about you, Stilo. Don't enough about you.
But I can't say I know much about you either. I mean, you've got a card that I can only get says you have a license to wear hats, and he's got a son who's somewhere inside a hippo. I'm not exactly feeling like I'm in good company here.
I'll have you know that these hats are worn by the most fashionable of folk right now, okay?
Is that true?
I wouldn't know. I definitely wouldn't know, mate.
Is there anything alien about this hat?
Roll alien knowledge.
I mean, my ex-wife was a fashion designer, and I don't recall her ever putting a model in one of those hats.
Okay, so
Fashion designer, you say?
How alien is this hat, roughly?
It's got kind of like some frills on it. It's a little bit purple, a little bit blue, kind of flowing together, and it's also got some weird kind of almost like coral what's the word for it, coral kind of extensions sticking out of it.
That's much weirder than I thought it was. Can't believe I've just noticed.
Purple is a classic alien
fashion.
I'm gonna poke the hat. Well, it doesn't seem to bite.
What, did you just poke my hat, Stilo?
I'd poke it again. Maybe, yes.
There's nothing like volatile about the head. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Well, it'll be your head it eats first.
Bear in mind, as you're doing this, T-Bone, the 6-foot-tall cassowary dinosaur-like creature, is stood just behind Feek, looking a bit concerned as to why you're poking the hat.
Yeah,
while this is going on,
said my piece.
I study Stilo. I'm going to study Stilo while this whole conversation is happening, because he's very suspicious and nervous, and that's what I would expect if he was an alien.
All right, that's fine. Humans come under the sort of same big game knowledge, animal knowledge. So have a roll
for big game knowledge for humans.
Big game knowledge, yeah.
10.
You are very perceptive. What are you trying to find out from him?
What would you like to know?
Is he an alien?
I'm not from this planet, so technically I am an alien, yeah.
I hit him with my stick.
Ow!
He's an alien!
What are you doing?
Thank you.
You're an alien!
Of course I am! I'm the guy!
How many times are you hitting him? Do you like hunting just to, because it's an attack?
I come from Isa Troy. Of course I'm not from here.
3.
You're looking a bit worse for wear here, Stilo, but
hey.
You're still standing. You're still all right.
Look, they wouldn't call.
What have you done with my son?
Planet on, would they?
I've not hit you yet, but I reserve the right to beat you.
Who are you talking to?
I'm loading a tranquilizer round.
Is that what you used to take out my son?
This is a tranquilizer. It puts things to sleep so we can study them better, okay? If I had your son, I'd be carrying him. I was sent here to protect the animals.
I don't know, you're very suspicious. But okay.
You seem remarkably calm, given there is an alien out here killing people.
What? I didn't know there was an alien out here killing people.
At that mention of alien, the other cassowary in this enclosure just finally comes over to see what all the noise is, and you see it just sort of walking over, similar colours to T-Bone, similar height.
I assume I know cassowaries quite well. Could I check to see just like if anything's off about them?
Yeah, you can roll twice, take the highest for that one since your cassowary is your ally. That would be big game knowledge if you're looking just about cassowaries.
Yeah, see if there's anything out of the ordinary. Here's that. Oh, 10.
10, yeah. So you can see very much like T-Bone, this is a very nice example of a terrifying creature.
Yeah, Tivo, didn't realise you got yourself a bit of a man. Well done.
So these things are with you, are they?
Oh yeah, I've known Tivo for ages. Put my arm around her neck and she's perfectly fine with it. She's like, yeah, me and Tivo, we go way back.
But you left her in a zoo on a foreign planet.
It was for the sake of for making sure for breeding purposes. What are you going to do? Right,
but that means you're not from this planet either, which means you're also an alien, which means it's safe. I'm safe, right? Someone tell me you're making sense here.
Technically, you are making sense, I suppose.
Thank you.
What are you going to do?
So I don't have to. That's what I'm getting at, right? I'm pointing at Keith here.
All right, Stilo, congrats, you've made a valid point.
Okay, so Keith, why don't you just calm down, okay, stop panicking, and we can work together.
I mean, I don't feel like I'm panicking yet.
Stilo.
If you're not panicking, why am I so terrified?
Calm down, Stilo.
I mean, these things are prehistoric.
There's nothing wrong with these cassowaries. They're just big, terrifying birds. That's all they are.
My wife used to make a very nice cassowary. Sometimes
Sometimes
I had it when I came in from work.
And let me guess, Keith, she was terrifying too.
That's just rude. She's a very nice lady.
Okay, look, I'm gonna.
I'm legally obliged to say so.
NDAs, eh? I get it. Wait, no, I don't. I'm not calling that.
All right, so T-Bone's quite happy with you. Beak's going to stick with you. Just sort of like, sort of just nuzzling up to you. Quite happy to see you. The male that's been in the enclosure has been checking out Stilo, but is a bit mystified, but doesn't think they're a threat.
And there's nothing wrong with these
right.
two. We will leave them to their private games. Stilo,
right.
Put across my dad. Don't point it at him. You might cop block him.
Okay, so
that is the last thing I want to do.
Best up to you, T-Bone.
The three of you and T-Bone are now heading on into the next enclosure. Are you locking that one up? I take it.
I'm locking. Keys.
Sorry, buddy, I didn't mean to cop block
I'm
myself.
locking this up.
So you're locking that one up, and you move into the next enclosure. Again, you go in, and all you really see are trees, shrubs. You can't see much around you, but you can
instinctively,
see.
I would like to blend in as a tree.
You can certainly try. That's I guess hunting again is like the sort of camouflage.
6.
You do an okay job of blending into a tree. Other trees would not be convinced, but to a human eye.
I'll start to move. I'll shuffle with the herd as the trees migrate around the enclosure.
There you go. You can certainly.
You move slowly with the sun.
Like
so. You've picked a tree and you can feel that tree just slightly swaying with the wind. You can just see the branches occasionally
deploying my branches, occasionally
dipping and moving.
Can the rest of us still see Stilo, or is he gone?
He only got a 6, so I'm saying you can still make him out. He's just done quite a decent job of looking like a bit leafy and green, and he is swaying slightly.
So he's Trilo.
He is now Trilo.
Steve-O, do you know where the weird guy went?
Yeah, he's over there being a tree.
Hey, I was talking to Tivo.
Okay. Can you speak to birds? Is that a Is that a thing that you can do?
To birds, no. Sivo, yes.
From my vantage point as a tree.
Like
no,
how?
She was a chick.
Oh, it's a chick.
No, she ain't a chick anymore.
I thought it was a dude.
Stop looking at her.
I thought it was a dude.
No, the big cassowary is a female.
I thought it was a dude.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Are there any tree-dwelling creatures here?
Look around. Have a look around. Big
From my
game
vantage
knowledge.
point as a tree, are there any tree dwellers here? There is a 3 for my tree.
A 3. You see just uncoiling in front of you this fluffy yellow spotted tail that just wags slightly in front of your face.
Where spot that too?
Mildly hypnotic.
Hunting. You're trying to sort of look around, track something.
Hunting, okay. 8.
You spot this tail go down and start to wag as well in front of Stilo's face.
Stilo, calm down for a sec.
I'm looking
not
for
a big fluffy worm.
Okay, do hunting then, trying to look for your son.
4.
A 4. You sort of look around the sides of the enclosure. You're not distracted by the little wagging tail, and you see in the corner some black fur with some more yellowy spots.
Well, Bob's ginger, so I ignore it.
I'm very slowly crouching down.
I don't think there's anything in here.
Lower myself pretty much to the ground. Something up there.
What?
Quiet down, Keith.
In the tree.
I can't hear you.
In response to Keith's yelling, the tail disappears into the branches, and all of a sudden in front of you jumps down a huge leopard.
Holy
you also
shit!
hear something stirring behind you as well.
Wait, there's another one behind us.
All right.
Yeah, just where Keith was sort of previously looking. It's in the back.
Nice.
Okay, can I wheel around, kind of have a look, see if this one seems weird?
Yeah, absolutely. Big game knowledge. Have a look at it.
Big game, okay. 4.
It does look weird. It's black with yellow spots, and the leopard that's jumped down is yellow with black spots. But it's an interesting pelt.
I make a run for it.
That would be a very interesting pelt, but I don't think that's what you get from leopards.
How likely is it to be pouncing?
They're sort of just checking you out. They're thinking about maybe going back up into the trees. They're not overly aggressive. They've already dropped down, so they're not at the advantage at the moment.
Nice.
I make a run for it.
Yeah.
As
Nice.
Keith runs for it, the one that's black with yellow spots sort of pursues you, jumps after you, and tries to drag you down to the ground.
Holy shit!
You're going to have to try to do hunting to evade it or smack it off of you.
That's my worst one. 4.
Okay, you're sort of bruised, you're scratched, you're injured, and it's not letting you go. Okay, so this leopard, it's staying on the ground. The other one's jumped back into the tree. This leopard is staying on the ground, trying to pin you.
Is this behaviour atypical to a leopard?
I don't know. Do you think this behaviour is
one's so
atypical?
peculiar. Can I see if it's got, check my alien knowledge, see if it's a little bit off?
Absolutely, you can.
It's off. It's definitely off.
One.
Can I roll the game
Hold
against that to
still,
see if it's a
Keith. I've
natural
got to
hunting?
make sure it's the one that we need to deal with.
It's still trying to sort of roll Keith around. It doesn't really seem to know what to do. It's just rolling him around now. He's got him pinned.
I've dropped my spear and I'm just sort of slapping ineffectually at it.
Okay. You're going to have to do something, otherwise Keith's about to be very, very injured and requiring aid.
What are you? Looking at Feek, what are you doing currently?
You got tranquilizers in that thing, right?
Yes.
Fucking shoot it!
I do not. I have a big fuck off gun as I draw my phaser rifle. Like,
okay, well, how about you put that down so we don't alarm anything else with the noise?
I'm very alarmed!
Okay, I'm going to aim a dart in the general direction of the rolling mess of creature that is part Keith, part leopard, and I'm going to fire a dart.
Okay, hunting ability. Let's see if you hit it.
Yeah, I'm just watching to see what happens.
That is a 6.
Any popcorn, T-Bone?
You hit it, the leopard sort of takes it in the flank and it sort of jumps away, springs away, but you can see that the tranquilizer fluid in there hasn't quite shot all the way in. So it staggers away and it sprints out of the enclosure through the open door behind you. You haven't quite incapacitated it and now it has fled.
Who left the door open?
Well, that was Stilo. Or maybe it was T-Bone.
T-Bone can't open and close doors.
Well, there you go. T-Bone can't close the door, so it's T-Bone's fault.
I'm keeping my aim on that door. I don't load anything, but I'm staring at that door.
That was your first encounter with a mimic, and it fled.
I knew it.
So it can now, essentially, it can now be in any of the enclosures you haven't explored so far. But it will be starting to get woozy.
I'm fucking woozy.
So,
okay, so whatever enclosures we look into there, keep an eye for the one that might be drunk.
Tech have given a 2-year guarantee on these things to work. I've only had them 6 years, so they should be fairly potent.
That explains a lot, Stilo. I've got to wonder, when was the last time you were supplied with new darts?
Well, the last breakout, the last shoot was about 6 months ago.
I'm not surprised. All right, Timo, come on.
How battered am I?
I'm saying you're sort of like 3 out of 4 battered. If you take one more hit, same with you as well, Dan, Stilo, then you're going to need some first aid. You're both kind of slapped or scratched up a bit.
I literally just like, I try to nudge Keith off the ground, just like, you're fine, come on.
Ow! 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 I'll slowly get up and lean on my wooden spear. This is turning into a real bad day.
Okay, I draw my phaser rifle, just like, okay, now we've seen it. So, did it go back through the enclosure that we just exited?
Let's not overreact here. You fire that thing off, there's going to be a lot of scared animals running in our direction, okay? I think we should take this quietly. It's already darted, so just
I had a suspicion about this one.
With this, okay?
I know what I'm doing.
The animals are in cages, mate. How are they all going to be running towards us? Surely they'd run away from us.
Someone left that door open, didn't they?
Yeah, so the leopard sort of ran out, and because the cassowary is next door, but you very cleverly decided to lock that one in, it couldn't go straight into the next enclosure, and it's just fled somewhere else in the park. So it might change back into its alien form. Chances are it will go and hide somewhere else.
It's already drowsy, okay? If we can just keep it moving, that'll hide its blood flow and that'll knock it out quicker. There's no need to go blowing off limbs.
I'm not going to be blowing off limbs. I'm going to be making sure that this thing dies.
Okay, that's not helpful.
It has no pelt. It needs to die.
Is that how it works?
If I can't flay it,
the best
it's
course
not
of action.
Something that needs to be flayed, then it needs to die.
Can you flay T-Bone?
This thing is a genetic abnormality. Genetics isn't anything like this, okay? Just an idea how many medical advances there could be from that sort of technology. You could regrow limbs and wounds. I gesture to Keith. You could regrow broken body parts if you had that sort of biomechanic, whatever tech it's using.
We got maybe art over here.
Maybe it can help you grow a spine.
Ooh! I throw a high five at him.
I do the high five, and they go, ah!
There you go. You have now broken.
Clean heart, clean wrist. Got it.
that amount of pain is just enough to tip you over the edge. You pass out. Fortunately, there is a first aid station at hand. So, you guys need to go around your next enclosure. And by the time you've done that, the first aiders may have patched Keith up.
See, this is what I mean. Taking
away to first aid.
Okay, you just knocked out.
Come on, bleeding heart.
His son's probably already dead, and now he is going to get ripped apart by those tree things.
All right, let's go.
All right. So you're moving into the next enclosure?
Yep.
Moving on. I'm going first, okay? Let's not kill anything else.
Tivo, no matter what.
Okay.
You already killed that man.
I didn't kill nobody. Not yet.
Keeping your eye on T-Bone is probably wise, because as we move into the next enclosure, this one's a lot more open. And you see in the distance there's a couple of beigey green shapes through some tall grass, and they start to move and they start to fan out around you with little growls.
Okay.
Can I roll for a big game, see if I recognize these animals?
Yes, you can.
1. These dice are terrible.
Well, at the moment, all you can see through the tall glass is just it's like the beginning of a gladiator. The grass is sort of waving in the wind, and you can't really make anything out, just some beigey green shapes moving through the grass, slowly surrounding you.
I'd like to work out, I'm assuming this is a hunting maneuver. Where are they likely to be heading? Are they heading to us, or are they already doing this before we arrive?
They've already started to fan out. They're going behind you.
Work out how many of them are surrounding us?
There's a good 4 or 5.
I suggest we back into the other room, let them settle, and then we can open the door carefully and have a look more closely, one at a time.
Okay. Tivo, you go first.
Okay, so you're backing out.
Yeah.
Just backing back into the other room.
Okay, so T-Bone manages to understand this and back out of the enclosure. Who goes next?
I follow up.
I'm not waiting. I'm almost trying to go through with Tivo.
Okay, so Stilo also edges his way through. That gets in your way, Feek. And out of the grass, this lion just jumps up and on sight of seeing you, jumps at you. You're going to have to do hunting in order to try and shoot that down.
Oh, I'm not going to shoot it just yet. I'm going to roll for alien knowledge to see if I can work out if this thing's weird enough to shoot.
Go for it.
6.
It's a lion, and it is now pouncing on you.
Right, I shoot it from point blank range. Boom.
Boop. Give it hunting.
Okay. 2.
2. You have now very seriously injured a perfectly normal Earth lion.
It deserved it.
But of course, one of the problems with lions is they attack as a pack. You've taken down one, another one leaps into the side.
Oh no!
Hunting to see if you can take down the second lion.
6.
You blast that one in the chest with your phaser.
I don't like it. I don't like any of you. But if you're picking fights.
The other lions start to back off. And over the
tannoy,
tannoy,
you better.
You just hear a voice. The head keeper goes, "Hunter Feek, how dare you kill one of our lions? You are to report to me immediately. This was not in our contract."
It also went in your contract that you said there were 5 lions.
The Tannoy cannot hear you or relay your message. So
I know.
You have been summoned to the head keeper's office to explain your actions.
All right.
As you go to the head keeper's office, you see Keith sort of staggering out of the first aid.
How are you feeling?
I watch Feet go, and having think he's gone, I'll stop aiming at him.
Was I patched up by staff nurse?
Yeah, you've been patched up by by a staff medic.
Can I ask them if they've seen Bob?
Go for it. Yep. I would say, I mean, that's talking with people. Tell you what, I will roll hunting to see if the nurse has seen Bob, because that's kind of tracking.
What's the nurse's name?
Maisie.
All right, Sheila.
It's still Maisie.
It's just a generic term, isn't it? Like, what's up? How you doing?
You Australian? Yeah.
No.
I'm on Demi. Don't pay attention.
Okay.
I'm from Barnsley.
But Barnsley Mars or Barnsley on Clavac 6?
Which one's this?
This?
Yeah.
Earth?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're bandaged up. I can't do much to help you, otherwise.
Have you seen my son?
Your son? What does he look like? We don't have any guests in.
Well, he's sort of a small boy, about the size that I was when I was his age. He's got bright ginger hair. It's very unfortunate. Sort of looks a little bit like a carrot, but upside down. He's probably quite sticky. He's not very good at washing his hands. He sometimes gets like lollipops stuck to his forehead.
I can ask, and she goes on the little radio and says, like, have they seen a boy anywhere? Any animals acting strangely? And all they hear is some of the zebras are acting a bit strange, but they don't really know why yet.
Well, they're probably just really unhappy that that they never got updated to colour.
Right. Yeah. So sorry. We'll keep an eye out for him. But I've done all I can for you. Bye. And she just shuts the door of the first aid office.
There's going to be a lawsuit.
Yeah, there's going to be a lawsuit. Don't worry about it, Keith. I will immediately be a witness against you.
Fuck.
All right, so Keith, you can head over and you find Stilo outside of the lion enclosure.
I mean, no, I feel like I would have walked in by now. How are the lions acting, having had one of them blown up?
I mean, they've retreated. They're not particularly happy. They're sort of grunting. They're growling, but one of them's severely injured now, licking his wounds.
Okay, I'm heading over to the one.
Yeah, so.
All right. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm one of the good guys here. Okay. Just how bad are his wounds?
They're pretty bad. It's struck him down the side. He's bleeding a lot. He's sort of hissing at you and trying as much as big cats can, trying to back away a bit.
All right. Just lie down. It's okay. See if I can. Does it look like there's anything I can do to help him, or is this a lost cause?
I mean, it's a normal Earth lion. So if you want to use some big game knowledge to try and see if you can, how to patch up a lion, then go for it.
I was going to patch up a phaser wound with a 2 to my knowledge.
Was that a 2?
That was a 2.
Yeah, there's not much you think you can do, and the other lions are still edgy around you. They not quite sure if they're going to let you close or not.
Oh, poor thing. It's his feet turned up at this point. Am I still on?
Yeah, Keith, if you want to go in after Stilo, you can go in and see what's going. The lions are staying well back.
Nah, fuck that. It was a big fucking cat that mauled me in the first place. I'm staying right where I am. I'm staying outside looking in.
I'm going to try and dart the wounded lion. I'm going to try and dart the wounded lion to knock it out.
You can do that. Roll hunting.
There's a 7.
At the 7, you fire off your dart. This is a slightly better shot. You hit it. You see the sort of syringe go all the way in. And that lion falls into a deep sleep. Blood still, dripping.
Rest there. I've not got a lion suture on me. I don't know that they. You recover. Hopefully, your friends can lick wounds. Is that a thing lions do?
I've got this roll of duct tape.
It'll be fine.
Is that useful?
If you could close the wound over, that might slow down the bleeding, help it keep some of its blood.
How fucked does this lion look?
It's asleep. It's
like, is it gonna die?
It'll be hit and miss depending on how well you understand lions and patching them up with gaffer tape.
A common skill.
I'll-
I spare in my evenings.
I'm going to cautiously roll the duct tape towards Stilo. I'm going to stay outside and like roll it.
It's on you again, Stilo. You might have got a sudden wave of inspiration with your knowledge about patching up lions.
Okay, I'll stretch out the tape to what I think is the length of the gash.
Mm-hmm.
I'm walking forward slowly. I'm keeping a low position. I don't want to scare them.
Feel free to roll big game again then for patching up the lion. Roll it twice, take advantage.
Okay.
It's now asleep. You're not feeling threatened.
Okay, that is a 10.
All right. You go up to it.
I place the top of the wound, the tape, then like gradually run the tape down across the wound until it's covered as much of the wound as it can. Tear it off, seal it up, try and get some of the blood to stay. I'll put some tape over each end just to stick it in place.
So that lion's
is
now
it
nicely
a male or
patched up.
male or female? Can I
Female.
tell from the main female?
Lioness.
Oh, hey girl, you sleep. You'll be all right. We'll take care of you here. All right. Like a gentle rub behind the ear, and then I'm going to back off.
Okay, so that lion's now resting asleep, no longer bleeding, sort of resting a bit easier, and just sort of soothed by your tones and your kindness towards its fellow packmate. You have now also gained a new ally. One of the lions peels off from the pack and will join you on your quest as well. Gives you kindness to its packmate.
Fuck.
I may not be in the situation, but part of me just goes, I sense somebody needs a whooping.
Is there a camera in here, or is it just the speaker and the tannoy?
They've got basic overall cameras, but the
I'll
lions
look to one of the cameras and give them an okay. Okay.
And I just comes.
It's gonna be okay.
Thanks. Just return it when you leave.
Yeah, don't leave
library policy.
Don't leave it just lying around.
Yeah, they've only got an hour till the guests come in, so they're happy for you to have a friendly lion on your side.
One lion covered in duct tape, and the other is wandering around loose. The guests will turn up; it'll be fine.
What do you mean? You've only got an hour. You can just fucking don't open the park. What is this, Jurassic World?
Who is giving us public liability insurance for this place?
All right, so you're out of the lion enclosure.
I'll just gently stroke my lion just to bond with it, and then I'll follow you guys out.
Yeah, this lion's just like, if it could purr, it would, but it can't, so it just looks at you. Like,
I'll purr for it.
Yeah, there you go. That's bonding for you.
So you're petting a cat while going purr.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fucking weird, mate.
So whilst Feek's still having a massive earful in the head keeper's office, you move over to the next enclosure. It's a huge enclosed building, but you can unlock the door and go inside, and a wave of cold air hits you, and you and the lion both walk in, and you as well, I assume, Keith.
I stop for a moment to zip on the bottom half of my trousers because I have, zip off beach shorts.
So how? I'd already imagined that.
So I zip the bottom on and make sure that I've put my socks on underneath my sandals.
Oh no.
I haven't brought a coat, so I tuck my arms inside my shirt, like a straitjacket.
So you're telling me you'd made sure to wear socks under your thongs?
Yeah, exactly. And thongs underneath my shorts.
So you go in and you just see some.
I'm hugging my lion for warmth.
Yep, that's fine. The lion sort of nuzzled up to your back. He's happy.
Is that a euphemism or what?
No, he's just talking to his lion. And you're in the penguin house, so it's very cold. There's all these little penguins stood around. They don't know what to make of you. Some of them sort of huddle over to you a bit and just stand around your feet, Keith. I think they assume you're also one of them. And some of them just don't seem to really like the lion and Stilo, and they just waddle away.
It does not smell good in here.
They're useless.
Stay back.
It smells real bad. Very fishy in here.
Oh, was
this you
definitely
guys?
Something fishy about these creatures.
So they look like normal penguins.
Roll big game.
9.
Yeah, your eyes.
They are absolutely normal penguins. They've got their little dinner jackets on. One of them seems to have sort of huddled up so close to you. It's now sat on your shoe, your sock and sandal. It seems to have taken a bit of a fancying to you.
What are you doing, mate?
It's just.
I can get it off.
Nice.
I'm wedging against the penguin, just flee across the floor.
Did you just punt a penguin?
I'm just punting it. like a curling stick, and just down and just flick.
Roll for hunting. That is an aggressive attack.
That is a 4.
You have scared off the penguins even more so than otherwise.
Stay away.
Keith, do you try to do anything to lure the penguin back?
What do you do that for, Stilo?
Evil beasts. They've been hunting me across the systems. Everywhere I turn, the eyes are staring at me. They've got it in for me, I know it. I know they have.
How?
Morning, and all the ice pops were gone, and in the freezer was one of those monsters. My daughter cried for hours.
Oh yeah, I can relate to that. When Bob doesn't get any ice cream, it's like a fucking racket.
It's freezing solid.
That
Stilo's real name, Captain Ahab.
I feel
I'm
like
not Captain
maybe
anymore, and you know that.
if her tears were
Don't
freezing
bring it up.
solid,
It's a sore subject.
if her tears were freezing solid, you probably shouldn't have left her in the freezer.
Hide and seek, a good hiding spot. We didn't find her for weeks.
And indeed, you do see all the
penguins
judging him.
Are you sure it was penguins, or was it just parental negligence? Because I know something about that. Let me tell you.
Don't bring my wife into this, okay? She's a good man.
Yeah. Look, I'll take him by the shoulders. I'll be like, look, I know that you're legally obliged to say that because look, I feel like you've got some unresolved trauma.
I'm fine. Everything is fine. I haven't fled the planet, okay? Everything is fine. I can go back whenever I want.
I don't have a problem.
I passed all my exams, okay? I passed my speaking, I passed my neurology, I passed the psychosis with top marks. I'm fine.
Are you though?
Feek, you're now released. And
I got top marks in all the mental assessments, okay? I ticked all the boxes. Stay away!
Whoa, Stilo. Why is he having a domestic with himself?
Well, basically, it's his fault that his kid died.
Why am I surrounded
She's not
by
dead. She's just
fathers?
having sleep.
Look, my kid isn't dead. Yours
Yours
is
is inside a hippo.
You said it
Of
wasn't
course
inside
he's dead.
the hippo. You
I
said
was trying to be gentle.
CeeLo, what happened to your son?
Fuck.
My son is fine.
It's his daughter that's
He's
dead.
fine. Okay. My son is fine. My daughter was in cryo because she didn't get the military. She didn't pass the military acceptance, so she's in cryo for 4 years until she can try again. His wife is looking after her, and as soon as I get the money from this job, we can eat. So I just need to find this thing and go home.
Look, I've got
Please.
I know you're in denial about your daughter. So how's this for a plan? I'm gonna beckon one of the penguins over.
Penguin just like.
Don't hit the penguin.
I'm hitting the penguin. I'm hitting the penguin. I'm hitting the penguin. I'm hoofing the penguin across the enclosure.
I will try
It's
and stop
happening.
you from hoofing the penguin.
I'm going to help stop him.
Okay, all of you roll off for your hunting. This is an attack and a block.
2. Uh-oh.
6.
He hits the penguin.
I'm gonna scoop it up on the end of the crossbow and then just catapult it.
CeeLo, what?
The penguin just goes flip, bounces off the side of the enclosure and just stands there like.
That's what you get.
Just waddles away.
Right,
That's
new plan.
Thank God they're blubbering.
I'm going to walk over to a penguin
They're
instead.
shell shocked, but they're still.
Yeah.
They're not running away from you.
I go, right, look, and I'm going to take off my hat, which is obviously a hat with dangly corks on it. And I put it on the penguin's head. And I go, look, Stilo, this is your daughter now.
I'm just looking over at Tivo, just like, they're crazy or not.
You need something else to love and care for.
Care for this butler, Stilo.
It's got a hat on. It's not a penguin anymore. What was your daughter's name?
Her name is Reela.
Yeah, so Sheila is... So this is Sheila, your daughter.
Okay, does this thing appear to be impersonating my daughter?
Does the penguin appear to look like your daughter?
Does it look like is it impersonating my daughter?
And
this looks like it. This like it's.
To Stilo's mind, does it?
You can roll
can I
big
roll
game
something
to
on
detect
that?
if it is a penguin or not.
Is this a penguin or is this something pretending to be my daughter?
Alien knowledge for that then, since you and your daughter
alien
are
knowledge.
off-worlders.
Okay.
So you're detecting if it's
That
your
is a 6th.
It's a penguin. It's a penguin with a hat on. It's not. You successfully detect it is not an alien.
That's not an alien.
It
Which
also
means
doesn't like you.
we're in the wrong place. So can we please get out of this godforsaken ice bowl, find this alien, and go home?
Fucking penguins around, okay? Stop it. Keith, don't provoke him.
Are you with them? Are you on their side?
Shit you've just done right there. That's sick.
Are you one of them? Are you? If you take that head off,
sick,
well,
wasn't it?
I have 5 penguins on top of each other in a coat. Is that what you are?
Stilo,
Are you their brood?
Stilo, cut. Whoa. Don't you shoot me. Don't shoot me. You know me. You know what I'll do to you if you do.
I don't know you. I watched you shoot a lion and run away.
Because the lion deserved it.
Hey, Stilo.
By the way, why are you friends with a lion there?
There's a penguin on your back.
Keith, not helping.
It's still there. It's on top of your head now.
I back up towards my lion. Get it! Get it off!
Are you ordering the lion to attack you?
Get it off!
The lion is very confused, but nonetheless, with its fondness for you, raises up a giant paw and smacks you on the back. That knocks you flat down to the ground. You crack your head on the floor and pass out.
Proud of yourself, Keith.
I mean, this man is this man's a liability.
As are you.
It wasn't me that shot a lion.
The lion was asking for it.
I wasn't even there. But Stilo definitely told me that it was your fault.
The new lion is sort of slinking out. It's going to go back to enclosure. It's not a fan of hanging around with Stilo anymore.
Yeah, you go back to where you belong.
Edges out.
Just backtalk me there, T-Boy. I swear, he's on some of these things.
More medics come in. Remove Stilo. They're going to go patch him up.
All right, look, Sheila, my little penguin buddy. Have you seen another child around here?
It's a penguin. Oh, you're talking to like the actual like medic?
No, I'm talking to the penguin.
No, the penguin's just like.
Look at me when I'm talking to you, Sheila. Hey, over here.
It can't see anything. There's corks in its face, like from the hat. It's a penguin. It cannot help nor hinder you in any way. It's a penguin.
Oh, they can hinder very effectively.
Don't stop Keith from trying.
Then you may keep this penguin with you as long as you wish. It is your ally.
Do any of the other penguins look suspicious?
Roll big game.
Can I do that as well?
Yep.
8.
2.
To you, Keith, you've studied the behaviour of your ally penguin. You have a natural intuition with these animals. The penguins are being penguins. They're stood around doing absolutely feck all. And Feek, you do see the penguins, but again, no pelt, no fur. You can't judge birds.
What do they look like, Mafia?
I think
Seriously put off by these things. They're just
they're just penguins. Like I watched this really old Planet Earth film, and mostly the penguins just got eaten by other shit. So I don't think it's these guys.
Not being funny, but what's their capability? I mean, look at them. They're torpedoes in suits.
Well, torpedoes are quite deadly.
Yeah, when you shoot them.
So what you're saying is that I should keep this penguin and hurl it?
Yeah, sure. Always fun to punt a penguin.
You just said you were against punting penguins.
When it's uncalled for.
You're a very contradictory man, Feek.
Hey, if we need to keep an animal distracted, punt a penguin at it. I'm not going to just punt a penguin just because it's there.
Okay, so you have ethics.
Right, T-Bo. I'm not mean to birds, not inadvertently.
You have ethics in your punting.
T-Bone agrees.
Punting is non-discriminatory. My pelting is for those with pelts.
I don't understand at all, but I think we should probably check it.
We don't understand you either, so reciprocate it.
There's nothing to understand about me. I just want to find my boy.
Yeah, well, I know there's nothing to understand about you. Negligent father, it's pretty easy to work out.
It's so true.
Are you leaving the penguins be?
I'll slowly walk out, but I'll reach down and take Sheila's flipper. And
I'm a little uncomfortable with them watching us. Just making sure. Watch my back there, T-Bo. I don't know about this.
The penguin goes with. It gives no reaction, as do the rest of the penguins, who give absolutely zero reaction when you all leave.
I'm just watching Keith leave, just like...
Cork swaying.
Come on, Tebow.
If you've never seen the really old documentary Madagascar, you won't know that penguins are actually secretly criminal masterminds.
I'm trying to tell you.
Sheila the penguin just goes. So signals back to the penguins as the door closes behind her, and then reverts to her normal penguin state. All right, so leaving the penguin house, what's the next animal you naturally think of associated with penguins? Zebras. You can see there's the big open paddock with a nice herd of zebra, or zebra if you're wrong, in the corner. And you head on in, and there's all the little stripy fuckers stood there in their herd, and they do look a bit agitated. You
we found Hazel's enemy.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck. They look like barcodes, but you can't scan them. And they're just all there jigging around.
Okay. How many of them are around, are there?
It's a good 10. It's a small herd. Small herd of zebra.
Bob!
Zebra.
Bob!
All you can hear are the like
you can
clattering around, and they're like zebras.
That's a zebra noise.
I know.
I've never heard a zebra in distress. They sort of go.
They do kind of do that.
Dude, I'm not kidding.
They honestly
do.
So it's just excuse for Hazel to make animal noises. That's all this is.
That just sounds like a clown with hiccups.
Oh, they can dress as zebras too.
Oh my god.
Okay, can I...
It's gone to the next level. There's a clown as well.
Can I see if there's anything off with these zebras?
Yep, roll big game.
2. What is with these dice?
They look like normal zebras. Some are black stripes, some are slightly more brown. Their manes are sort of black, brown, and gingery coloured. Normal sorts of zebras.
Can I take out my zoo guide from yesterday that I would have purchased for Bob?
Of course.
Is there any information about zebras?
Yeah, the zoo guide, it says there can be lots of different stripe patterns, lots of different colorations, ranging from sort of black to a pale brown, almost sort of blondish colour.
You can't work out their price, though.
No, you can't scan it.
Huh. The cafe's just around the corner.
So you kept the thing that you bought for your kid, but you didn't keep your kid.
Well, I couldn't give him a map. He'd just lose it.
There is so many contradictions in what you just said. I don't even know where to start. Come on. Can I roll an alien to see if anything makes me go alien right there?
Yep.
1. Clearly not.
But you detect no alien life.
I'm not there at the moment, so everything is non-alien.
Watching the horses, just yeah, sure.
I'm gonna walk.
You know so little about them, you do actually think they're horses.
I'm gonna walk towards the herd and see if there's any sign of Bob.
Hunting, tracking.
I don't think Bob's a horse, Keith.
2.
The zebras, they're still a bit too het up. They're getting increasingly annoyed. You don't sense that they're going to calm down anytime soon, but they're just milling around for now.
What's got on your tits? What's wrong with these fuckers? Can I see anything that might be agitating them, or is it just our presence?
Try holding their hand. That seems to work.
They haven't got any hands.
They're already agitated. They're already agitated and sort of going around.
You can penguins, but you're holding one.
Can I see why they might be agitated?
Roll again for that hunting, that sort of tracking.
Oh.
I've just got my gun ready, just whatever's going on here.
That was a 6, which is the most I can roll.
Yes. So as they're moving around, you see flashes of the sort of black stripes, brown stripes, black mane, brown mane, ginger hair, black stripes, brown stripes, black stripes, and they're all just sort of milling around each other.
Zebras aren't ginger.
What is it with you and gingers, Keith?
Bob!
And as you yell, you're pissing off the zebras so much that they're starting to almost like huddle together a bit. You can see a couple of them trying to sort of back themselves in with the rest of the herd.
I'll try and find the ginger mane.
So are you trying to like push your way through the
zebras?
They've literally closed flanks. So they're trying to sort of just...
I don't know much about zebra, but even I know that's not a good idea to do, Keith.
Sheila, cause a distraction.
I'm not here. I'm unconscious.
I said Sheila, not Stilo.
The penguin just sits there and goes...
Speak, it's time to punt.
No.
Chuck this fucking penguin at the zebra.
All right. Sorry, Sheila. But just kind of hold it. I kind of go like football throw. Fing! What do I roll?
God knows. Hunting. That's definitely an aggressive move.
Gotcha. 7.
You're with a beautiful arc. A penguin has never flown so well or at all before, and it lands in the middle of the zebras. They all go and like scatter and trample away. They're pissed off, but they're shocked at this penguin being hurled into the mist. Unfortunately, Sheila's looking very, very worse for wear after such repeated penguin abuse. But just revealed by these dispersing zebras is your half-wit, let's accept it, son, Bob.
Oh, fuck. Hey, Bob. How does Bob look?
A bit shell-shocked. He looks around and goes, where's all the big stripy horses gone, Dad?
What the fuck you been doing?
I roll an alien knowledge on this kid.
Roll away.
2. God, what is with these 2s? I'm not even rolling the same dice.
Tell, Bob is not an alien.
Why do you fucking wander off, son?
Well, I was really hot, so I thought I'd go for a swim, and there was water with the hippos, and they were really big, and I took my shoes off, and I forgot one, and then I wanted to go to the cafe, and I remembered you didn't give me the map, but it was somewhere near here, so, and then there was the horses. And that's all you're getting.
Yeah, well, look, here's your shoe. Put your shoe back on.
That's your son, all right, Keith.
He starts trying to put his shoe on the foot that still has a shoe on it.
No, look, you little idiot. And I'll tie it up quite badly. And right now, look, not a word to your mother about this, all right? Can
I big game knowledge this kid? I mean, granted, I don't like. Feek doesn't have sons, but I think he knows enough about kids that this seems weird.
Yep, go for it. Humans are an animal, so.
All right, come on. Not a 2 this time. 1! Unbelievable.
You can barely register. He's somewhere between the age of about 5 and 15.
God.
Why is the big man squinting at me?
Hey, that's just what he looks like.
Oh, okay.
Right. Have you had anything to eat today?
Yeah, I ate something with the hippos. They had lettuce.
Hippo?
Okay. Right, look, I think I've got I've got your sippy cup still, so here's some juice. And I'll crack open a tinny for myself.
All right.
What else?
You are now ever so slightly progressively inebriated.
Here's a little bit of jerky. It's got a bit of flash on it. Right, look, we're trying to find an alien. Have you seen any aliens?
I've seen the horses. They were stripy, and I saw the hippos. And there was a leopard running around, but it scared me, so I didn't like it. And that was what I saw.
Where's Sheila at the moment?
Sheila, or Steela.
Torpedo penguin.
Torpedo penguin just sort of stood there looking a bit battered and bruised, but is still a penguin.
I'll give Sheila some of the beer from my balcony.
The penguin just sort of goes up, and drinks some of the beer. And you just slowly see it just wobble to one side, overcome the centre of gravity, and without twitching a feather or a wing, just goes straight up to the floor, and the hat just flops over it.
Well, I think Sheila's about done. I'll take the hat, put it on Bob, and then I pop Sheila into my backpack like Yoda.
2 seconds, Keith. How many fingers am I holding up, Bob?
They can't count.
All of them?
All of them?
He's only 25. He can't count. Oh, wait,
Nearly
sorry.
26.
Sorry, I meant 2.5.
Nearly 3.
He's honestly, I honestly don't actually know how old he is. His mother wouldn't tell me.
Okay, can I take Keith aside and just?
Yes.
I need to tell him some stuff. Peebo.
Bye, Dad.
Peebo, keep an eye on Bob.
Be safe.
Steela, you're back on your way to the enclosure now.
Can I head my light and just check that the one that's asleep is still alive, and then I'll move on.
I think we need to kill your son.
What? Why?
Because I think your son. Well, how do I put this? Well, 2 reasons actually.
Look, it's not his fault that he's ginger.
Okay, that's one reason. Second reason is because I think he might be the alien. But definitely because he's ginger.
I look at Bob. Does he look like an alien?
Use your alien knowledge.
Oh.
He looks like the son you've always known, so it's up to you to decide whether he counts as alien, but he does look like your son.
I understand where you're coming from, Freak. He can be quite an annoying little shit, but this is kind of normal for him. I mean, there's an easy way to check. Bob, come here.
Oh yeah. Hi, Dad.
And I'll just take a look. I'll sort of roll his trouser leg up to where the alien got hit with the tranquilizer and see if there's any tranquilizer injury.
There's nothing.
Keith, you're being smart.
Yeah, no, he's. I think he's sound. Well, he's not sound. Look at him, but you know.
Does he have any injuries on his leg?
He's just looking a bit scuffed around from all the attentions of hippo and zebra and an overnight stay in a zoo. But no, he looks fine. As far as you can tell, a kid between the age of 5 and 15. Maybe alien, maybe
25.
Yeah, maybe 25.
He's just always had this moustache.
I don't know. What do you think, T-Bone?
T-Bone's just playing with the decorations on your hat because they're very brightly coloured. He's like, T-Bone's happy. She's a happy girl.
All right. If T-Bone ain't bothered by you, I suppose you're all right from there. But I got my eye on you. Eyes on you.
I don't like him, Dad.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
I don't like you either, Bob. I don't like you either.
You can't say that to a
you're
child.
back.
I can say whatever I want to a child. It's not my child.
I think it's mine.
So,
Yeah, it's your
did you
child.
guys find
And my
it?
child.
Is that it?
No, this is Bob. We found him.
Oh, Derek. Oh, God, he's back. All right.
Oh,
Hi, Stilo. How you feeling now?
better. Thank you. I don't know what they put in my system, but it seems to be working.
Do you want a drink?
Oh, yes, please. Yeah.
Give him a tinny.
What's in it?
I don't know about this.
Well,
She's problem.
Lager,
what
mate.
do I see inside the?
It's a lager of unspecific branding.
Good enough.
Probably got a name that starts with a colour. Just the real quality.
Or particularly relevant to this child who should probably go into a foster home.
Ah.
Thank you, Key.
Strong bow.
Settle my nerves. Not that I'm nervous. I'm trained for this.
It's a Stella beer.
Haha.
I don't know anything about beer. I could be.
A strong bow.
You got your strong bow.
That's a strong bow right there, Stilo. That's a strong bow.
Don't remember having two of them though.
Right, look, Stilo, have you found this fucking mimic yet?
Oh yes, it was with leopard back there.
Yeah,
No,
and then the
we-
leopard
we
left.
missed that leopard.
No, it
Come on,
seems to be a
Stilo.
small child.
Keep up.
The leopard leapt away.
Oh,
They are
I saw
leopards.
some cats. I saw some cats. Dad,
Which
Where?
case?
there's cats. There's cats just over. He sort of grabs your sleeve and drags out. There's cats in here. There's cats in here.
Thank you, Bob. I knew it was a good idea to make your middle name Plot.
Well, yeah, but Mum didn't like it, Dad.
No, so we went for exposition instead.
Yeah. Bob Plot Jones. Sounds a bit odd, doesn't it, Dad?
Don't
Yeah.
know, Bob. Either way, sounds like a device to me.
Right, come on, Kate.
I'm a device.
What about you, Feek? You think we should follow this wherever this plot is going?
All right. Come on, Tivo.
It could be a red herring.
I didn't know this zoo had herring.
Curses. He was ginger the whole time. We should have seen it coming.
All right, so you're leaving
Very
the
glad.
zebras behind.
I'm good to go. Yeah.
You're good to go. So your lion has slunk away now, Stilo. You are once again on your own. So the three of you, Bob and T-Bone, are heading
Probably
into
safest.
a
I
new
hate to tell you this,
enclosure.
Stevo, but that lion that you were chummy with, it disgraced your name, so we had to get rid of it.
Well, list of three, that's all that matters, right?
It said you were a bitch.
Lions can't be trusted. What are you going to do?
And it's gone back to its own enclosure now.
Not
They are
should
known
One
for
way or
lying.
the other.
Right, so here's some small lions, Dad. And he sort of leads you into this enclosure, and you can see maybe sort of dotted around there's like almost little boxes, little shelters, little places for animals to hide. It's not the biggest enclosure.
They make a good purse.
Do I see any small lions?
Have a look around. Have a bit of a track if you're wanting to look for tracks and hunt around.
5.
5. You see just sort of through the sort of underbrush and in the hides, you see some fur again, sort of pale coloured fur. Again, that's sort of beigey brown.
Do I have any idea what they might be?
Big game knowledge.
Now, that right there is a pelt.
Also 5.
It's a cat. So it is some sort of cat. You can tell it's got the nice sort of almost spotty patterns, beigey brown.
I don't think this is a lion, mate.
They're little lions.
What did I spend all that money on that fancy school for? Right. Fuck, I can't shout. I can't shout for Bob now because you're already here.
my entire reason for being.
Mimic.
Can I roll to see if I spot any difference about these cats?
Yeah, go for it. Alien knowledge.
Alien knowledge? All right.
So if you're trying to spot alien traits.
2 again.
2. They're as Bob says. They look like almost in a way little lions. They look like smaller cats from what you can see from where they're hidden.
Are they Bob?
Can I roll a big game knowledge on them?
Yeah, absolutely.
7. That's better.
7. There's a few of them. You might even say there's serval. We've got several servals. It's exactly the same reaction my students give.
Not surprised.
Are these cats? Are they all staying together? Are they scattered? What's their layout? Are they playing around?
You can see in one of the hides. There's 2 or 3 of them kind of covered up. They're keeping an eye on you, and they look a bit jumpy, like they might sort of dart off, but they're just in their own little pockets. 2 or 3 together. You've obviously disturbed their sleep.
Well,
there don't seem to be any outsiders.
Okay, let's leave them as they are. I think that might be the better idea. Just leave them be, let them sleep. Clearly, there's nothing to worry about with these guys. I mean, they're absolutely adorable too. They make great pals. We'll wait for them to get a bit older.
Okay, let's not killing any more animals, okay? I think you've done enough of that already.
All right, let's go to the next enclosure. Come on, T-Bug.
Okay, so walking out, everyone following?
Okay.
I will follow.
Okay. Everyone's going out. Next enclosure, you go in. As soon as you open the door, and it's quite a low fence, this one, there's a big open patch of grass and dust, and you just see something very reptilian waddling straight towards you, Stilo.
What don't know about this?
Oh, fuck, I don't like it. Oh, fuck, I've left Bob in the serval bit.
Oh, me, Dad.
I'll start walking towards it. Put this
It's
away.
a mystery how you ever lost him, Keith.
Lost who? Oh, Bob.
Yes, Dad.
Fella.
Okay, just.
Okay, so can I roll a big game, see if I can tell these fuckers whether they're a problem?
Yeah, absolutely.
1.
Well, they look fearsome to you. They look like the most primitive, basic, vicious, drooling reptile that you have ever seen. T-Bone senses this, doesn't really like them either.
Well, that's a scary bastard, right?
Oh, no. It's a
All right,
college sports team.
Hey. How have you been?
The Komodo dragons just... Yeah, it's stopped at Stilo's feet. It's sort of enjoying the attention. Just sat there, quite happy.
Oh, yes. I broke these guys out a few years ago. I'm very happy now.
You broke them out of where?
I shouldn't have said that. Forget I said anything. I found them in the wild. They're fine. Definitely not anything to do with anyone. Nothing genetic going on here.
Yeah, I'm not one to kink shame Tivo, but Jesus.
How large is this particular Komodo?
It's about 2.5 foot long, stands about a foot off the ground. It's drooling quite nicely. It's happy with you being there.
Okay, I'll like try and find the soft spot under its belly, pick it up, drape it across my shoulder like a scarf.
It's pretty heavy, so you'll be definitely like encumbered about walking around with this on you.
Can I roll an alien knowledge, see if I spot any other Komodo dragons that might be a little off?
Yep, you can.
1.
all of the Komodo dragons look a little bit off to you. You've never seen anything that's so prehistoric that isn't feathery.
I'm very wary with my rifle.
Okay.
I'm not shooting any of them, but I'm very wary.
Your legs gone back and everything. All right. I'll set him back down.
Do I see?
I'm going to scan the others now. Do they all look recognizable as lizards?
Because you're familiar with these Komodo dragons, you recognize them before you go, oh, that's that one that nearly bit me. That's that one that did bite me. That's that one that nearly bit me.
Hey, guys,
no pelts.
Okay. I was their we'll say handler for a while. I know these guys. They're okay. Just stay away from the teeth. You'll sleep for a long time.
Stay away from the teeth. Sounds like solid advice.
There's one on the floor.
About it.
They won't hurt you if I'm here.
They don't.
It's okay. They owe me their survival. So we're friends. We're friends.
What are their names?
2 years for nothing.
I'm going to call this one Queen Elizabeth.
Queen Elizabeth just goes.
Sorry, mate. Hey, Bob, I think I want to make friends with you.
I call that one President, and that one is the Lumen. I forget the rest.
That's not very good if they're your friends.
Don't listen to Feek. You don't want to go near these big lizard things. Like, look, that just seems like a bad idea all round.
I'm just happy that they're out of that lab now, so we can leave these guys in safety and move on. We're okay.
All right. Next enclosure. Come on, Sebo.
Do I believe him? Do I believe Steelo?
Do a big game, because that's sort of judging how well he's behaving.
5 again.
5, yeah. You trust him for now. He seems to genuinely have a rapport with these Komodo dragons, and Queen Elizabeth is sort of just plodding along after him.
At one point, I
quite happy.
like swimming as they climb over my arms. There's nothing to worry about.
Yeah, just very very happy lizards.
Yeah, you are okay.
I said don't kink shame.
Reminds me of my ex-wife.
Is that what I'm not supposed to talk to Mum about, Dad?
Oh, blooded or poisonous?
Oh, shit, no, don't. Look, sometimes she just dribbles.
What, the Queen Elizabeth or your ex-wife?
Your ex-wife is... My ex-wife is your mum.
I thought my mum was my mum.
Yeah, all right, if I say my ex-wife, it's a different person.
You've had a lot of wives, haven't you, Dad?
Not officially, no.
Oh.
That freaking family.
There's laws.
I'm going to look into the next enclosure.
Yeah, I'm following Steelo. I'm staying away from this.
Okay, so you go over to the next enclosure. The big fences, but pretty much the opposite of the Komodo dragon one. This time, the fences are way above your head. You can't really see anything over. All you can see is just a sort of thick metal door that's been left slightly ajar on one side.
What's in the jar?
There's nothing in the jar.
Something
give the jar the door. It's a jar now. I'll give the door a gentle nudge, see if it swings freely.
Yeah, so it's a heavy door, but it does open. The jar that was holding it open is just still sat there. Door swings out.
It does swing freely. It goes both ways.
Hang low, sweet chariot.
Yeah.
Don't think we're the first ones in here.
Okay,
none of the staff have been in.
Can I give a roll to see kind of like if I can work out what's in this place?
Sure, you're still stood outside, but you can give a roll.
Okay, what am I rolling?
I guess that would be big game if you've seen an enclosure like this before.
It's a 2. Okay. It's going to be a 2.
A 6 this time.
A 6. You recognise this as the sort of enclosure you have when it's what you consider real big game. So as a hunter, you know how to recognise the enclosures of the bigger beasties. So you're definitely thinking it's one of the bigger African beasties.
Like a yeti.
Watch out, guys. There's big game in here. Could be Cluedo.
Right. Well, I'll check first. Let's not have any more, shall we? I'll make my way in.
Okay.
Oh no, shit.
That's good.
Right, stay here. Don't move.
Okay.
Stay in the Komodo dragon enclosure. Yeah, sure.
It's not in the we're not in the enclosure anymore,
You're on
are
like the
we?
path outside. You're on like the path outside.
Okay. That makes it a little easier.
The enclosures aren't linked by a single door from enclosure to
I was wondering.
You got to go onto the path first.
You're not going to come out and find a Komodo dragging him away.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna make my way and just have a look if there's anything in the area that Feek might want to blow up promptly.
I'm kind of keeping pace with Stilo,
Okay,
making sure that TiVo keeps up.
You move through this door and you're in a huge barn, and around you are these huge metal pillars reaching out of the ground. You could fit between them if you wanted, but it'd be definitely be a tight squeeze. So you're looking around, and just outside of the barn you see some big grey boulders, like these huge round grey shapes just in the distance outside the barn.
Oh,
Alien boulder?
It's Monopoly.
These boulders look terrestrial or interterrestrial.
Roll if you're trying to detect something alien. Have a roll for alien knowledge.
5.
Right. The big boulders out there, you actually do detect that mostly they are from Earth. They just look like your common or garden big African elephants, but they're moving around slightly. They seem a bit concerned about something.
Can I roll, see if I can work out what's up with them?
Yeah, absolutely. Big game.
A little nervous.
6. Yeah, I'm so pleased.
You can see all of these elephants are stood around one elephant in particular that's acting a little more strange.
Can I roll an alien knowledge on this one that's being isolated?
You can.
I'm taking aim.
6.
Thanks. You notice that this elephant that's looking strange is actually slightly more purple than all of the other elephants that you usually expect to see. It's got that slight weird colour.
I open fire on that purple elephant.
I'm also firing.
All right, both of you roll hunting.
7.
Okay. As Feek, you open fire first. All the elephants whip around. These guys are smart. Elephants can see you coming. So the elephants all like shuffle out of the way, including the big purple elephant. It saw the weapon. It knew what you were predicting. But then close behind, Stilo's, is it a tranquilizer dart again? Yeah. So Stilo's tranquilizer dart hits that purple elephant, and you see it wobble a bit more. So now you've incapacitated this elephant. It can move around a little, but it isn't running anywhere. It's woozy.
Is that a dose of tranquilizers already? You don't take one tranquilizer to take out an elephant.
This is the first time. This is the first time I've been around when Feek's shot his gun, I think. So I sit down and take my heart medication.
Yeah, does this thing look woozier than if it's just taken one dart? Is it likely this thing's already woozy before we found it?
This is a dart that's designed to tranquilize and not kill things like a penguin and a serval. An elephant's gonna take more than a dart and a half.
It doesn't seem to already have been woozy. I'm loading another dart.
It's looking woozy.
I open fire again at the purple elephant.
Hunting.
What are you doing?
4. This phaser shot starts it does go near the elephant, but it singes all the elephants on the way past. So the purple elephant is just staggered out of the way. but the other elephants you've now singed, they turn to you. They see the weapon in your hand, and one of the bigger, more matriarchal elephants is going to walking away over, reaches out her trunk to try and grab the rifle.
I've heard about this.
A little help.
You've got to stand up to them. I will charge the matriarch elephant with my stick, going. Ah!
Roll hunting.
6.
You smack the matriarch with the stick. That distracts her as she was going to grab the phaser. She doesn't grab the phaser. Instead, she turns towards you, Keith.
I'm firing another dart.
Okay, roll hunting.
3.
That misses. Just goes off into the distance. Probably hits a bald eagle somewhere that's wandering around, not knowing what to do.
Send me my eagles.
Fake. Don't anger the elephants. Please don't anger them. They
Right,
can
Tebow, and origin you play long enough. Unleash hell on that purple one.
With the matriarch in front of your face, make a hunting ability throw.
3.
You hit the matriarch. That is directly in your face.
I was talking to Tebow.
Oh, you're talking to T-Bone to go and attack it?
I was saying, Tebow,
okay.
Go for it.
So T-Bone sort of reluctantly looks away from you, looks around the elephant, sees the purple one in the distance, and birds are colourblind. It runs over there, but it doesn't know what you want it to do.
The purple one, Tebow, the purple one. God damn it!
It can see things like UV. It can see blues, but it's not quite sure about this purple that of which you speak.
Tebow, come back! Come back, Tebow.
As this is happening, the matriarch is going to take a swing for your stick, Keith. So roll hunting to essentially try and like dodge out of its way. See if you can keep your weapon.
5.
Right, so now you and the matriarch are in a bit of a standoff. Sort of trunk around the stick. You're trying to haul your stick back. Bob's
We're trying to help you, you stupid grey bastard.
You're not supposed to say that word, Dad. You're wrestling with the elephant.
Shut up, Bob.
You're stuck.
Shut up, Bob. Don't tell your mother. I've got a lot of frustration to take out. I'll headbutt the matriarch.
Roll hunting.
5.
The matriarch let's go with this stick. She's not very happy about this. She can see you a bit of a weird one. You don't quite know what to do. You seem in distress, but she's going to let go of the stick, and her and the other elephants are going to sort of start to back off and try to form this sort of shield around the purple elephant.
I just fall to my knees, like, when I said you were an elephant, Isabella, I meant you were wise, not fat. And then
who's Isabella, Dad?
That's your fucking mum's name.
Don't worry, I won't tell her.
Put the rifle.
I'm going to open fire again on that purple elephant. He's got to go.
Okay.
I am preparing to fire a dart at feet as soon as the figure goes off.
So again, and Steeler, you rolling for hunting?
I'm firing at feet. He's shooting it.
You're firing at what?
I'm firing at feet.
Right. Okay. So what have you rolled to hunt?
You're firing at me.
I'm firing at you. I told you. If you shoot them again, I'm going to have to intervene. You keep shooting them.
God, okay.
I'm putting a dart in your leg.
Steeler, you got to roll for hunting to shoot him.
Yeah. That's an 8.
Okay, so Feek, you're lining up your phaser. You just see the bead of the sort of scope, like this little sniper-like thing, like intersect between the elephants. You're about to pull the trigger, and you feel shot into your leg a little tranquilizer dart. That's going to make you not quite pass out straight away, but you're now essentially very
Crazy
sleepy.
son.
I told you not to shoot them. Leave this thing alive, damn it!
Look at you. Look at that.
I pluck the dart out of your leg.
Under the bed.
In the distance, you can hear the music of the entrance of the zoo starting to play. So you know the zoo's opened its gates. Guests are on the way.
I'd like to pick up the rifle.
Why would they open the zoo while there's a mimic on the... That's just incredibly irresponsible.
Management's terrible here.
I'm picking up Beak's rifle and tossing it through the bars into the elephant's area.
Ivan, help me.
Have the elephants formed a wall?
Yeah, they're trying to that you've startled them. You've just been shooting at them, hitting them. They've formed a bit of a wall, but they don't really like the purple one that much. But they're willing to protect it against you lot.
Steelo, there are people coming in here. They're going to get hurt. We've got to be the responsible adults here. Give your tranquilizer crossbow to Bob and send him between the elephant's legs.
I recall taking your rifle and disarming you.
He still thinks he's got it. Yeah, your rifle's been thrown in the direction of the elephants.
It's not working.
Do I have a shot on the purple elephant? Or mimic?
It turned invisible.
You do not currently have a shot on the purple elephant mimic.
Look
Give
what you've done
the
now.
crossbow to Bob, Steelo. Give it to Bob. He's small. He can get between their legs.
The only thing I'm giving Bob is capsule.
Where's my gun?
Can I try and grab one of Steelo's tranquilizer darts?
Go and get it.
You can. That'll be a hunting to try and sort of just grab and pounce on him.
It's a 6.
You managed to wrestle one of the darts off him.
Bob, take this and go stick it in the purple elephant.
Oh, all right, Dad. And he runs off towards the elephants.
Go, Bob!
And then I'll pull Sheila out of my backpack where I stuffed her. I go, Sheila, go, distract them.
Go, Sheila!
Have you punted the penguin?
I'm giving her a little push to see if she'll waddle off in that direction first.
She walks like a few paces and then just sort of stops and looks around.
All right, fine. You got to learn to fly before you learn to walk. And I'll hurl Sheila towards the elephants as well.
Right, so once again, a penguin has never flown so well. So your hunting ability to see how well this penguin lands. 2. So the penguin bounces off the face of this already slightly angered matriarch, but she notices it is but an innocent, useless, foppish animal. And the matriarch decides to just pick up the penguin and takes it over to the side of the enclosure where there's a bit
where she unwraps it and reads the joke.
Yeah, so she puts the penguin over by the fountain. Yeah, elephants are smart. They've seen the penguins. They just puts your penguin to one side. Your penguin is no longer your ally. It is now allied to the elephants.
Oh fuck!
It can be useless.
I'd like to turn to Queen Liz. Where is
penguins?
Is Queen Liz by my feet?
Queen Liz is still stood around. Yeah.
Bring my gun.
Out of its leg. You see that one? Need to put it to sleep. Get it safe.
Okay. So are you essentially casting off your Komodo dragon to hunt?
Yes.
Yep. Well, hunting on its behalf.
10.
10, fantastic. So Queen Liz looks at you, looks at the purple elephant. So you can see in its primitive little archaic lizard brain figure out exactly what it needs to do. And it waddles off. It's overtaking Bob, who's running in there with the tranquilizer dart as well, held above his head like a tiny javelin, and goes in goes up to the mimic. What did you get, a 10?
Yes.
All right. And grabs on to the mimic's leg, injecting it with all these toxins and venom. The mimic's now staggering around. It's down on its knees. It's flickering between lots of different colours.
Am I able to work out where my gun went?
You can, yeah.
Oh, cool. Where's it gone?
It's just sort of skittered off towards the increasingly lackluster defending elephants.
Okay, can I crawl towards my gun like must end? Help this freak!
Don't do that.
We'll say you do get close towards your gun about the same time. Bob's also running in.
You picked that thing up. I'm gonna have to shoot you.
And you'll have to shoot me.
Yes,
Shoot Bob.
I shoot.
Fuck.
You're gonna have to roll a hunting ability on Bob's behalf, there, Keith.
Roll a parenting.
Yes.
Can I roll this at disadvantage because he's a small child?
Yeah. He's not you.
And you have no parenting skills.
He's not a hunter, so.
Well, with I've only rolled once, and the first roll was a 1. So.
Bob turns around and goes, "What was that, Dad?" And as he turns around, he accidentally smacks the tranquilizer dart into his own shoulder. And being a tiny, tiny little child, he just goes, "Ooh," and drops over and falls asleep.
Bob doesn't feel so bad.
Oh shit! The dosage on that might kill him.
Okay,
So the elephants have seen this, and being quite kindly animals, they are also now scooping up Bob, and they're going to go put him with the penguin.
Give me back my son.
I'm put end to this charade.
As soon as you pick up the weapon, didn't you?
You're going to have to outroll each other again then.
Okay, what am I rolling?
This will have to be hunting because you are lunging for something. You are trying to lunge for your gun at the same time that, Dan, you need to roll to see if you shoot.
Zero.
Okay.
5.
7.
Oh,
He
no.
shoots you. He shoots you with a trank gun and you are completely out. So Bob is now asleep with a penguin. Feek is now asleep on the floor. T-Bone is not too happy about this and runs around to Stilo and attacks him.
Avenge me!
I will charge the elephant that picked up Bob.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and make my way into their enclosure to get into the elephants now.
Okay. What was that, Tom?
I'm gonna try and slide through the bars and get into the elephant's enclosure now. See if I can get there before.
Yep, you're in amongst the rapidly dispersing elephants.
Yeah.
And Keith is going after an elephant. So what's your plan, Keith?
This is indeed going to hell.
I just run up. Is it still holding Bob?
It's just putting Bob down next to Sheila the penguin.
If I reach it after it's put Bob down, I'll just go to Bob. If it's still got Bob, I'll hit it with a stick.
Roll a d10 for that one. Let's just see how quickly you're getting over there.
4.
It's putting it down as you get there. You haven't run there that quickly. So okay. Bob's gently, carefully lowered to a safe spot as you get there.
It's really hard to run with this dad bod.
All right then, Stilo, you're the last remaining stand at the moment. You can hear the guests getting closer, their chatter.
Okay, can I grab Feek's rifle as I go and just I don't know if there's a way to disarm it. If not, I'm just going to keep it.
Yeah, you absolutely can. He's
if I can disarm that thing, I'm stripping it to pieces.
That's how you want to spend this move, then fair enough.
Well, no. Just if it's like an obvious, I can just take this thing out and it's going to stop. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep it, sling it over my shoulder, and head towards the elephant.
Do that again. That's a hunting ability. Your knowledge of weaponry.
Okay. Do I know how to disarm this thing?
Yeah. Do you know how to just
my gun?
I have a 10.
You're trying to take the power pack out. Yep. So you instantly recognise the power pack. Clip it out.
Yeah. I'm going to keep the power pack.
I'm asleep.
I'm gonna keep the power pack. I'm gonna keep the rifle, but I'm gonna sling it over and make my way towards this hopefully rather drowsy mimic / purple elephant.
No.
Okay, so the mimic's grounded. It's flickering lots of different colours. It still kind of looks like an elephant, but it's got 2 trunks now. It's doing its best.
Is Queen Liz still attached?
Queen Liz is just clinging on. Like,
okay, I'll give her a gentle.
She'll be sat there till she can eat.
Good girl. And then I'm going to take out a dart and just try and jam it into the mimic.
Okay. Roll an alien knowledge to see if you know where to jab this rapidly now sort of colour changing, shifting mimic.
All right.
That
is a 4.
A 4. You jab the mimic, but as you're jabbing it, there's trunks appearing and disappearing. It's not quite an elephant anymore, and you've clearly just hit a spot on it where it doesn't really have that much effect. So it's going to turn around, and with one of its now many trunks, it's going to smack you backwards across the yard. So you're now pretty battered and bruised yourself. I'm
gonna slap Bob and see if I can wake him up.
Go for it. Yep. Do a big game for that, because it's kind of like human knowledge.
10.
Okay, yeah, he says, "Oh, what is it, Dad? Woo."
You stabbed yourself, you little fool.
Well, you told me not to do that.
I did tell you. You never listen. This is why you got lost in the first place. What did I say? I said don't get lost.
Yeah, you said, no, you're not having the map, you little sprog. Just don't get lost and it'll be fun.
Yeah, I said just wait at this bench while I go to the bar.
Yeah, but last time you went to the bar, you said you nearly weren't my dad anymore.
I'm honestly not convinced that I am your dad.
That's all right. I won't tell Mum.
I got the domestics happening here.
Right, look, is there anything left in this syringe of yours that he stabbed himself? Is there anything left in what he stabbed himself with?
Yeah, to bring him round so quickly, there mustn't have been much left in. And you can also hear in the background that Feek's starting to come around a bit now too.
Oh, can I try and fight off the effects of this thing?
You're going to have a massive disadvantage, but
you have got 2 of them in you now.
I think it's another sort of human animal thing. So I'd say go for big game. Assess how you're feeling.
Okay. With disadvantage.
With disadvantage because you were shot with them twice.
1.
Now you look at yourself and you're like, I'm just like all the animals I've ever tranquilized, and you passed out a little ago.
On the doodah.
Right, the mimic's now dragging itself. So it's dragging itself towards you.
I will take the remaining tranquilizer from Bob and run over to try and help Stilo.
Okay, so are you gonna try and like go for the mimic?
I'm pointing. I'm pointing to the mimic. Get
that mimic's like advancing on it, colours flashing, like trunks everywhere, ears, new feet coming out.
Yeah, I will first try and stab it with the trank.
Hunting ability.
2.
2. Once again, you stab it with the tranquilizer. It's not quite going through its weird diaphanous skin, and none of the rest of the chemicals really being injected. It's still just advancing slowly on Stilo, and now you've got its attention too, Keith.
On my screen, Stilo has frozen in quite a jaunty pose.
On my screen, he looks very happy too.
Okay.
He looks like he's been tranquilized.
I can't see any of you either, so I'm gonna reload.
You do that. Right then, Arron, again, like sort of self-assess, how are you feeling?
You're back.
I'm groggy.
I can hear you fine, but I can't see anything.
Groggy, give a roll to see how well you're coming round. Big game knowledge.
Disadvantage still?
Disadvantage still, you were shot twice.
3.
You can stagger to your feet, but all the elephants, all the buildings, they kind of just look like big stuff to you at the moment.
That's a rock.
It could be a rock.
I will try and whack it with my stick.
Hunting?
3.
You smack it with the stick. The mimic sort of shrugs it off a bit. It's not quite enough of a blow to finish it off, even as desperate as it is. And it smacks you back with its trunk, one of them, and knocks you back again. Stilo, what are you up to?
Well, assuming I'm functional.
Just about. You're battered and bruised, but just about.
Okay. I'm going to stay lying down. I'm going to try and aim a shot sort of from my lying position. Try and tag it as it heads off towards.
Okay. Hunting.
2.
2. Your shot fires off and you hear a little squawk in the background and a bald eagle just falls out of the sky.
Not another one.
I see they're all right to attack.
The
Aim for the elephant.
Tanai comes going, I appreciate you're all in the middle of something right now, but once again, I remind you that you are not contracted to kill any of our animals. Please try and refrain from doing so.
Fuck off, I'm not contracted at all. You'll be hearing from my lawyer.
They're not dead.
Where's Tivo, by the way?
To the sleep flying.
Tivo, where did you send him to before you passed out?
I brought Tivo back and you said that she attacked Stilo.
He was going for Stilo, so Stilo was damaged from it, but he's mixed up in the mimic, so your birds just stood around not quite knowing what to do. Looking at you.
Help me, Tivo. I need your support.
Tivo comes over with the big, strange, stumpy dinosaur legs. Stands next to you.
I lean. Oh, thank you, Tivo. You always listen.
Tivo's just stood there.
Can I try and fight this crap off?
Yep. Once again, big game knowledge.
5.
You blink your eyes. It's clearing out your system. Just being upright is helping you. So Keith, you got knocked back a bit. What are you doing now? The mimic's still advancing towards you.
I will try and jab my stick, well, it's a wooden spear, I suppose, into any sort of open orifice.
Roll an alien knowledge to see if you can spot an open orifice.
4.
Well, you see in front of you what looks like a nice shimmering area that must be a very sort of precious, weaker, almost exposed area of this alien skin. Hunting, see if you can stab it.
5.
You've thrust the wooden spear in, and the creature shimmers all sorts of different colours. Tentacles come out, replacing what were the trunks, and it keels over on the floor. It's bleeding. It's asleep. The tranquilizer finally takes over its system, and it reverts to its normal alien, tentacled, shimmering form. It's no longer attacking.
I continue to whack it.
Hunting. Stilo, feel free to do anything.
I'll get back up to
6.
my feet. Oh.
6, yeah. It's still asleep. It's bleeding a lot more now.
I fight this stuff off.
You got it.
Yeah, one last roll.
Bring it here. We'll carry
is this
it
one
out.
with disadvantage?
No, not with disadvantage. Just this one. You're fighting it off.
2 again.
2. You're gonna feel a bit groggy for the rest of the day, but you are back on your feet.
Good to know.
I just continue to whack the thing, and I'm crying now.
I'm gonna put an arm on Keith and try and pull you. Oh, you got it.
The favourite colour.
I start staggering over towards Stilo. Stilo, where's my gun?
I'd take out the pulse rifle now, completely stripped, and just toss it to the floor. I wrap an arm around Keith. It's all right. You're okay. Just get this thing out of here.
The guests are starting to filter through onto the path. Some of them are looking over and going, have they? What is that? What is that? They're sort of talking amongst themselves and pointing at you and the now sort of very, very unconscious and bleeding out corpse of this alien.
Fuck off!
Just doing some medical checkups. Everything's fine.
How intact is my gun?
It's in pieces.
Can I try and put them back together?
If you want, yep.
What am I rolling?
That's hunting again, sort of weapons knowledge.
I've also
6.
still got the energy pack.
Yep, you can just, this is the gun you've had all your life. You can just slot it back together, no questions asked.
Cool. Do I have any spare of those energy packs?
Yeah, I'd say so. I haven't been keeping track of it.
I reach out. Much better.
Okay, just the thing's dying. Please.
I stagger over to this weird tentacle thing.
This thing can be useful.
In what way can it be used?
The genetics of the creature are phenomenal. The ability to shift and regrow limbs could be instrumental to our technologies. We need this alive.
But can it fix?
Why he's got to go.
Can it fix a broken
That doesn't
heart?
make any sense.
Look at what it's done to Keith.
He ran into it. Of course it defended itself. The wild as an animal.
I open fire on its unconscious head.
Yep, roll hunting with advantage. Roll it twice.
6.
6. Your phaser blast goes straight into the creature's head. It gives one last sort of spasmodic, nervous twitch, and it lies still. The shimmering of the skin fades away to a dull grey. No more of this sort of sticky blood oozes out of it, and you have successfully killed the mimic.
I collapse
Well
to the ground.
What have you done?
I hope you appreciate the feeling of victory.
It was beautiful in its own way.
Hell yeah, I appreciate the victory. I'm enjoying this sleep now.
I crack open another tinny and just sit there covered in the alien spray and just crying, drink my beer.
Didn't have to die.
The little voice comes over on the ton like, this isn't anything to do with the guests, so you guys just carry on, have a lovely day. But for the cleanup crew currently in the elephant enclosure, if you could please remove yourself and the cleanup project, that would be much appreciated. Okay, thank you.
Whatever, talking along.
All right, so the head keeper's come down. He hands over the money to you. Feek sort of just tucks it in there and goes, what about cassowaries? And he goes over to you, Steele, and tucks some money, sort of hands it over to you as well, and just pats the Komodo dragon on the head. You guys are a bit strange, aren't you? And then he just looks at Keith. He goes, do you know this man?
Never met him before in my life.
All right, okay. Come on then, sir. And with that, the head keeper takes Keith away and Bob, the child. And you two have your money. Kill the mimic.
Can we get an ice cream?
I would like to try and smuggle Elizabeth out with me as I leave, whilst dragging the corpse of this poor, abused creature.
You are free to do that.
I'm enjoying a nap.
I'm taking this corpse back with me.
It's fair enough. So, with that one napping, one being escorted out, and you stealing a Komodo dragon and alien corpse, you successfully killed the mimic.
Hey!
Hey!
No, we might do that.
Mission accomplished.
All right, well done. You actually managed to get through all but 2 of the animals in the zoo. The only ones we had left were the giraffe, which I believe was your enemy, Alec?
I had enough enemies.
Yeah, namely yourself. and the chimp as well. We never encountered the chimpanzees.
Yeah.
Oh, that could have gone badly.
It would have gone badly.
They might try and steal stuff, and who would do that?
Yeah, right. So despite being given enemies, it seems like the greatest enemy at times was yourself. But I'm glad we reunited a family, killed a...
I'll never trust Stilo again.
He's actually only my stepson.
Bob doesn't know what that means.
When I get back to my home planet, I'm registering Feek as an animal abuser with the agency, putting out a warrant for his immediate arrest and rehabilitation.
I'm giving Bob.
I go back to my petticoat business and just realise, oh yeah, I'm a millionaire.
How much were we paid? Have I been paid enough to afford to be able to defrost my daughter?
Let's say, for the sake of a happy ending, yes, you can. Yeah. You can now defreeze.
I can afford to pay off my debt to Gentech. They'll defrost my daughter.
But she is dead.
Carry on.
When Keith comes, feels better and actually is paying attention, he finds my package of money left next to him.
Oh, there you go.
Oh.
That'll help settle help settle the court payments.
Yeah. I've also left his power pack and an antidote to the anaesthetic that I shot him with multiple times. Along with telling him not to try and remember the last 2 days too carefully.
Keith mistakenly spends all of the money on a second-hand unicycle.
And subsequently loses sole custody of Bob. And on that, I hope you've enjoyed Alien Big Game Hunters. It's good fun DMing for the first time.
That was brilliant.
We'll have to come up with some more one-shots. So any ideas of one-shots in the comments below. Once I've finished writing up this game, we'll again add it to the description. And as always, see you next time and keep rolling.
Keep rolling.
Bye.